earlier, I will be covering the third module first in the digital design and computer organization subject. So as I have said previously, in basic structure of computer, the important question is basic operational concept, and also this bus structure, performance, processor, clock, basic performance equation, clock rate, and all these concept will be asked for definitions in VDU. And coming to the next part of this module, that is the instructions and programs, the important concept that you have to concentrate more, the important concept that you have to concentrate is addressing mode. Definite question, I would tell, like, this addressing mode will be asked for 10 marks in VTU. 10 marks it will be asked for VTU, compulsory question, I can guarantee you. And also in this, most probably the next important questions that PTU can ask is this instructions and instruction sequencing. Probably they might ask, but most important is the addressing mode, which is 10 marks compulsory in VTU. So let's get into the concept. First, in first video I will be briefing out the functional unit, which is the basic knowledge that you have to have. So let's start. So functional unit, most probably all of you might be having a laptop or PC by now, and if not, you might have seen PCs, that is desktops, in your college labs or school labs. So this is the functional unit of the computer. So this is input. So basically, what is an input? You all know keyboard is also is an input, and mouse is an input, and scanner is an input, joystick is an input. All these are inputs. So this keyboard, we used to give input, mouse, and it is used to move the cursors, scanner, joystick, all these are input. So next one is output. So what is our output? What are the output units that you have learned so far, that you know so far? Is most importantly, monitor is an output device. And next, coming to the processor. What is a processor? Processor is nothing but a CPU, the central processing unit, which is most important. And you have seen the input output, which is the IO device, and you have come to the processor. Without CPU nothing happens. And then what is this interconnection network? It is a question. So interconnection network is something that connects the IO devices and the processor. What this interconnection does, it carries the input from the keyboard or mouse to the keyboard to the processor or CPU. So this interconnection is basically a bus path, is basically a bus or a path. So we have seen input units, output units, CPU. Let's see what is arithmetic and logic unit. Arithmetic and logic unit is where you perform the basic operation necessary for getting the output. So arithmetic and logic unit, you do basic operation like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. All these things you do. This is basic operation that can be done. And other operations that can be done in the arithmetic and logic unit are and, or, and x, or x, etc. So you know all those logic gates that we learned in our electronic concept. That is what is done in the arithmetic and logic unit. And next, coming to memory, we know that there are two types of memory. One is primary memory and secondary memory. I'm sure that all of you know these two types of memory. An example of primary memory obviously be RAM, and secondary is hard disk. So what does this memory does? So we know whatever input we give in the keyboard, that that will be sent to the arithmetic and logic unit, and some data will be processed. So this data will be stored in the memory. Data is nothing but 1011, which is in the binary format. So basic this is the functional unit of a computer. So further moving on, here I have the notes. You can just make a pause and go through these notes that I've given here. Im- what does this input unit does? I've briefly described that it is a what does this input unit does, what are the instruction and program, and these are the definitions that you have to write. As I have told, the primary unit, secondary unit. Next, another thing is cache memory that we will be learning in our later stages. And then comes the about the arithmetic and logic unit. What exactly does this arithmetic and logic unit? Make a pause, go through these points, just go through it. It is understandable. No need to like go deep into the concept. Just understand what does this output does, what does this input unit does. Whatever I have said orally is mentioned in this point. Thank you